On a muggy night here in Houston, Texas, it's a perfect 72 degrees inside NRG Stadium. Tonight, we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The drive starts with a run by Allen. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Texans, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground with Allen. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers and freeing up the D-lineman to make the play.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Caught by Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a first down, but for big yardage as well.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Now Allen. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So the incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as he brings up 4th down.
My dad used to tell me all the time when you're going to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They'll run on 1st down. Sinclair, he'll get it across midfield down to the 49.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And some space here. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 35-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They go play action now. Jackson going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Quez Watkins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Operating from the gun, Matthews. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Houston. 53 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. On first down, Sinclair. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw. Matthews. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Texans will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Matthews. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Allen. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 43-yard line. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this 1st half. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll run with Allen. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
He finds Bateman over the middle. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 32 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Finding space at the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Texans at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Odafe Owe, his second sack of the night. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be...
And he's going to go down again. Odafe Owe drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Now a carry for Allen. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And this is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
The kick is
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Texans 7. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
38-yard line.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Okay, ready.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Mustang 19.
Back to throw. Matthews. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
He's got room at the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Jackson on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Matthews. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Tucker, the former Longhorn, puts this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Adafe Owe. Make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Here's Allen. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd down. Matthews, throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Operating from the gun. Matthews. Complete. Richardson has it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Back to throw again. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Justin Madubuike able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this.
And the pressure gets to him again. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. And the Texans are going to take over here up near the 40. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Again, he'll drop to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. That time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Throwing on 1st down. Matthews eluding, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Justin Madubuike bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? Advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, what are they, about 95% chance of winning it?
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run. This is Allen. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Ravens have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
31. Texans 10. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready, break.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw on 3rd down, Matthews. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On the ready. Back to 60.
On 4th down, Matthews. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.